Some people don't know. Can you believe it, Jess?
Who are you? Where have you been?
Probably Adelaide. I reckon we should probably try and introduce this into the conference. Maybe it would be
Yes.
the first thing. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm part of the local organising committee for the International Applied Geochemistry Symposium that's being held in Adelaide later this year. I'm looking after the scientific program, so I've been looking after quite a lot of the abstracts over the last couple of weeks. It is my enormous pleasure today to announce our media partner for the conference. So please, would everyone be overjoyed with the fact that we have Jess from GeoHUG's going to be joining us for the 5 days of the conference. So I'm spending a bit of time with Jess today, so we thought we might get to know her a little bit better and also find out what she's going to be doing in Adelaide for those 5 days. So Jess, what do you think you might be up to over the 5 days
I'm
of the
going to be
conference?
very busy. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of the presenters and roaming the floor, checking out all the booths and abstracts and all the different parts of things that will be going on. And yeah, I want to talk to everyone. So if you see me, definitely come say hi and we'll have a chat. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
So in the middle of October, I think it's about the 14th to the 18th of October. Registrations opened a couple of weeks ago. We're going to have people from all around the globe. I think about 30% of the speakers will be coming from overseas.
Wow.
So it's going to be truly international conference. It's only about the second or third time that it's been held in Australia. The last time it was held in Australia was when it was in Perth. And I actually gave a paper at that conference, but this year I've decided not to, because one of the things we really want to promote at this conference is early career geoscientists. And I'm really proud that we've got a lot of young people, or young or early career geoscientists, as we like to call them, coming to the conference. And Jess, do you think you'll be catching up with some of these younger people?
I would absolutely love that. So yes, definitely. Yes, I'm talking to anyone that I can. It would be great.
And one of the big events that we'll be actually having as part of the conference will be a GeoHUG pub night. So what have you got planned for that one at the moment, Jess?
We're going to have a really fun venue, a really good speaker, lots of socialising. It's always a very fun night. Maybe a bit of magic, maybe some laughs. We're not sure. There's lots of surprises to come. But yes, it should be really fun. So make sure you come.
Some people get into geochemistry by doing geochemistry at university. I'm one of these people who accidentally fell into geology.
Accidental.
Accidental. I actually wanted to be a meteorologist when I was at school because I thought that'd be great, because I thought a meteorologist actually goes out and measures the weather. What I discovered when I was doing year 12 is a meteorologist sits in an office and looks at a computer. So I decided I needed to do something different. So I did geology and...
Never looked back.
Well, sort of in some ways, because when I was at uni, I actually found out I was better at doing chemistry than geology. In fact, at the end of second year, I had to make a decision as to whether to do chemistry or geology. And one of the issues was that geology was a bit more fun than hanging around with test tubes. So I decided to do geology in third year. And yeah, and then I did honours in geochemistry. And then for the next 20 years, I went off and I was a geologist. Because
there you go.
Even though the conference is about geochemistry, I would say the best thing, if you're an early career scientist or someone who's just starting out, if you want to be a geochemist, go off and be a geologist for a long time.
That's a good tip.
And I actually refer to myself not as a geochemist. I refer to myself as a geologist with a geochemical bent.
Geochemical bent.
You did well not to laugh at that. I thought you were going to explode. So
how quick can you say and remember the periodic table?
I wouldn't even bother. But But I'm very passionate about geochemistry, and because I'm starting to get to a position that all my children regard me as being old, I think it's really important that we encourage young people to get into this fantastic career path. And one of the talks that I'm really looking forward to in the conference is there's going to be a forensic geochemist
that's
coming.
cool.
And he's going to basically, without being morbid, but explain how he's been involved in investigations where he's actually helped to solve crimes by using geochemistry.
That's cool.
So it's not just about exploration or environment or the research and technology. We're going to be looking at some of the society aspects of it as well.
What are some of the other big highlights that you're looking forward to?
There'll be quite a lot of Canadians there. So I like.
Welcome.
One of the great things about Canadians, they're sort of like Australians, but they're from somewhere cold. That's how I generally describe them. A lot of people I haven't seen for a long time, so it's a great
It's always
thing to
good to catch up, definitely.
Yeah. Now, what about GeoHUG? Some people don't know. Can you believe it, Jess?
Who are you? Where have you been?
Probably Adelaide. Go on.
So GeoHUG was a bit of a fun lockdown experiment just to keep me in check and have something to do.
Where did you get the idea from, though?
I don't know, like I've always been traveling for conferences. So, I always saw the value in having really good, speakers and a wide variety of topics, and having people that chance to learn from all this expertise. So, yeah, I could always see that was one of the big values in conferences. And yeah, thought, why don't we try a virtual one while everyone's in lockdown, see what happens, thinking I'd only do a very small number of them. And then, really underestimated, I think, when I started. And now it's, like more than 250 episodes, more than 150 countries are watching all the recordings. And it's been a wonderfully big surprise, but just a really, really fun journey. Never, ever, ever wasn't part of the strategy, but it was a really nice surprise with how special and how much everyone loves it. It's really good.
And how much geology have you learnt?
A lot, but not as much as I think anyone expects. I never got the Geology 101, so I don't have those fundamentals that I think some of these very beautiful talks might require. So I don't pick up on everything.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, gosh.
Come on. There'll be 2 or 3 talks that have stuck in your mind more than others over the years?
Yeah. I think mine, purely because I'm not a geologist, would definitely be ones that weren't that technical. Some that really opened my eyes. It was really earlier on in GeoHUG, but Doug Kerwin came on and did a talk about the Myanmar jade trade. And I think that really started opening my eyes to, I guess, like the global landscape and, just understanding more about different needs and, environmental concerns and all sorts of things that I think, when you don't have that background, it's just stuff you never really think about.
And is that still one of the most popular episodes?
I think it might be sitting at number 1 right now.
So what, 10,000
YouTube
I think
views?
16,000
now. So it's doing really well. But it just really opened my eyes to, I think, what you all deal with all the time and have very good knowledge of, but it was something that I've never really thought much about. So that one's always really stuck with me. Some of the other amazing ones is, like Julie Hollis or Ian Stewart and some of these speakers that really talk about, geoscience communication and, trying to spread word beyond our bubble. So some of those have been, really amazing, and they've got amazing tips and advice, I think, on how to try and tackle those problems. My gosh, there's really been so many talks. Who else would I highlight? Well, Mark, you've done a fair few amazing geochemistry related ones.
I thought you'd say that.
Hoping. Tell me more where your knowledge comes from for you to have done some geohugs.
Well, I mean, part of it, if I look back, so the couple of people that you've actually had on GeoHUG over the years, like Scott Halley
Amazing.
and Carl Brohart, all of us worked for the same company called GC, who used to be, well, we're in Sydney at the moment, in Goldfields House, which got knocked down a couple of years ago. Anyway, I'm just going to call Simon out because he'll really be embarrassed about it. But we had a geochemist there, Simon Gatehouse, who's now in Perth. And he was really, really strong on if you're going to do geochemistry, get the geology into it.
Yep.
And I always found that really inspiring. So, yeah, there's a lot of geochemists out there who like their mathematics and their machines that go ping, as I like to refer to them. But Simon pretty much push this idea, I suppose, that geochemistry means nothing unless you can integrate it with the geology.
Yeah.
And, I know he did a lot of work with Scott, and Scott's just gone on and done amazing things around the world, which, it's been great to see. So that's probably where one of my inspirations for it is. And, as I like to say, I'm a failed chemist, so that probably brings into it as well. But I've been really fortunate, with work. I've got to travel to a lot of great places around the world, including Eastern Canada, which is as far away from here as possible.
That's
I've
special.
even been to Sydney, Nova Scotia.
So I didn't even know there was a Sydney in Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
I've got to get over there.
There's a North Sydney, Nova Scotia as well. In fact, I've even been from my hometown, Orange, in New South Wales, to Orangedale in Nova Scotia.
Hey.
Via Sydney and Sydney to get there. But, that's highly relevant, totally consequential. It's going to be great at the IAGS because we're going to have a lot of geos from places in Australia coming to get together. There's one thing, the software that we actually use called IAGS. It's about the 20th anniversary of their first sale. So I know the guys from Index will be there and very excited.
So anyone that's looking into geochemistry, why would you encourage them to do it?
I got in trouble once for saying on a consulting job that the only thing that goes through a mill is geochemistry. And it's not necessarily 100% true, but it's a very important fundamental science within exploration. So, one of my passions now is that we drill good geochem anomalies to actually find mineralization for the metals that we're going to need in the energy transition going forward into the future. So, I'd find that a lot of fun in that regard. And I think for younger people that, they need to enjoy a bit more STEM. I don't think we've been thinking about how to encourage people to actually work in our industry particularly well. I still don't think we necessarily advertise it particularly well. And that's going to be one of the sessions on the conference where people will be talking about that and actually waking up to the fact, I suppose, that there's not going to be the number of geologists in the future. And so we're going to have to do things differently in the future. And, we're getting people in data science and that sort of stuff, and they're probably supplementing the geochemists that we actually will have in the future. So...
Well, I'm very excited to go. It's going to be a great time.
So, Jess, I'm going to hit you up.
Okay.
Can you do the first 10 elements of the periodic table? Come on.
No.
Do you know the song?
No. Are you going to sing for me?
You mean hydrogen, helium, lithium, boron, beryllium? Could you do those?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hydrogen, lithium, boron. Is that what you said? No, I'm very excited. It's going to be a really great time in Adelaide. So we hope to see you all there. When's it on?
I think it starts on the 14th of October and goes through to the 18th of October. It doesn't always come to Australia very often that we get such a prestigious geochemistry conference. People that are interested in finding ore bodies, who work in the environment or research and technology, what a wonderful opportunity to get together with people from around the world and learn a lot of stuff. Look forward to seeing you in Adelaide in mid-October.
See you then.